We lack a shared culture. We lack a shared meaning, a shared thing that we feel a part of in our day-to-day lives, in our communities, and then beyond, in our nations. We are the human species. 8 billion of us on this planet, the only one in the universe which we know has life on it. And we are the dominant species, and we are humanity. And we are genetically extremely similar. Yet we do not have that idea baked into our culture. We don't have that idea baked into our day-to-day lives and then baked into our systems, which then inform on the culture. Our education system, the place in our lives, the place where we spend most of our development in modern society. And we have nothing in that system that reminds us of the fact that we are human beings and what that means philosophically and meaningfully. People go and they become 18 and they've had no reverence for the fact that they are part of the human story, the human project, the human history. They are taught their nation's history. They are taught that Henry VI had 8 wives. Or in France, they're taught how we got fucked by the Nazis. The point is, we need to bake within our culture, which is ever expanding, that we are the human species, that we are extremely similar, that we are capable of cooperation, that we are a beautiful species capable of adaptation. To make people understand that the clothes that they're wearing, the language that they're speaking, the floor that they stand on is all human creativity. And that they too dispose of that. We need to produce a shared culture. We need to have within our society, within our shared and ever-evolving species and society, that we are part of the same story, that we are part of the same project. Because without unity, which is the idea that I'm suggesting here, we find the world that we have today. We secularized after the Enlightenment, where we lost religion, and which was that, what I'm speaking of, that shared unity, or that shared culture, that shared form of meaning, that thing that gave us a shared purpose between our neighbours and our communities. We secularized, but did not replace it with anything. Nietzsche said, God is dead and remains dead, and we have killed him. And he warned us of what that meant and what would be introduced as a result. He suggested nihilism. But what has introduced itself is pluralism. Pluralism isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's a good thing. People, different cultures intermingling, which is what we would want from a more unified humanity. But what we found is that pluralism without any direction, pluralism without anything above it, crumbles into, I guess, chaotic diversity is a term I'd like to put on that. We have no direction. We have nothing that all these different cultures feel a part of, because there's no systems in place to do so. And when we have this chaotic diversity, quite a good word, I like that, we find chaos, which is why now we have this extreme political division, this class division. It's why we find systemic misalignment, because the human species isn't consciously aware of its capability of adaptation, and it sees the problems of our world as the cause of another, or as something we really can't just change. We can't change because we're not capable of it. People aren't proud of being human. People don't feel a part of the human story, and this comes at a huge cost to the way we live our lives and to the things that we are then capable of. Because if we were more unified in our species, if we were more unified in our communities, if we were more unified by the idea of being human and having human potential, we would build something beautiful. We'd have more trust. We'd have more art and creativity. We would understand what it means to be human and give value to it. And we wouldn't have as much of a why have I gone blank there? We wouldn't have as much of a dispersed and not diverse, but divided society. We can find unity, we just have to establish on what terms. We don't have to say that this culture is right and this culture is wrong. We need to establish that we are human first of all, and what that means. And from then we can build. And from then we can find something beautiful, which is humanity and human potential. And aligning ourselves, me as an individual, aligning myself with my potential and aligning myself with my nature, and the idea that comes with it of participation to the human story and humanity's movement towards its potential. But without that, we are divided. And I'm probably going in circles now. Basically, we need a shared culture. I'm looking for thinkers, I'm looking for artists, I'm looking for creatives, I'm looking for people that are passionate about the future of humanity and want to initiate the next cultural awakening, or that want to participate to the next societal redesign. The Civilizational Realignment Project. I'm here in London, leading it at the RSA, the Royal Society of Arts. I'm hosting discussions, recording videos, and bringing in people into a project that will define the future of humanity itself. So please get in touch. Any ideas are of immense value. Thank you very much.